What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I wanted to put this in the beginning. Of course, we are coming to you live from Gotham Production Studios, which is our home here for X Drinking Buddy. Remember to subscribe on Patreon, patreon.com/Brennan Tassif. You can also follow on social media at X Drinking Buddy on Instagram, Twitter, and follow me at Brennan T Comedy on all social media. Check out BrennanTComedy.com for the upcoming shows. And don't forget to get your X Drinking Buddy merch. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Boom. That's it. Easy peasy.
Grab me a beer and grab me a coke. We bout to sit for an hour, bullshit and tell jokes. And please don't mix it up, cause he done sobered up. Brennan T Comedy on your social media feeds. And Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Brennan Tassif is your X Drinking Buddy. I'm your host, Brennan Tassif. If you're new to the program, quick rundown of the show. I used to be everyone's favorite drinking buddy. It's my favorite thing to do, hang out with friends, get drunk, do drugs, get in all sorts of trouble, and then reminisce about those crazy stories. I am sober now, but it's still one of my favorite things to do, hang out with someone and reminisce about the crazy old days. Most weeks I'll be joined by a guest. This week is no exception. All the way from Brooklyn, New York, Mr. Derek Gaines.
What's going on, man?
What's up, dude?
Ain't shit to it. It's good to see everybody.
I'm happy you're here, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Shit, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I met you like 2.5 years ago when I first moved to New York. I saw you at the stand downstairs, and I remember it because I was dying. And at one point you looked at me, you were like, he gets it more than all of you. He gets it. And I was like, oh, I think I'm going to be friends with this guy.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I like when people laugh. It's a nice time.
Yeah, it was. And it's every time I see you, it's always a great time. A killer.
Thanks, man.
Thanks. Yeah, of course, dude. I mean, thank you for coming on. I reached out to you. It was kind of a hectic situation, and you were like, yeah, I got nothing going on. Let's do it.
I was just playing Spider-Man.
Yeah. Is the new one good? The second one?
The new one is fantastic.
Okay.
It's a fantastic game. You can lose a lot of hours. You can be very unproductive by playing that game.
I got to get a PS5. I'm an Xbox guy.
I am a PS. I've been a PS guy for a very long time, so the PS5 is...
You started with the original?
Yeah.
The PS1?
Yeah.
What was your game for PS1?
No, I actually started on PS2.
Okay.
Ratchet and Clank.
I was Crash Bandicoot on PS1.
See that? So,
yeah.
Because Crash was fun, but Ratchet and Clank, he had guns.
Yeah.
And with all kinds of fun ammo you could chase and blow
Oh,
up
God, I
aliens and
forgot
all that.
about that one.
Yeah, man, I played all the Ratchet and Clanks, man. Those are time killers. Shout out to Insomnia Games.
Yeah, Insomnia Games. I wanted to have you on because I know you like to smoke. We talked about that before, and I wanted to have you on the podcast because I'm sure you have some great stories that comes with that.
I don't drink. So
Yeah,
that's pretty great.
yeah. I wanted to, before we get too far on anything, though, since it is your first time on the show, I know most of the audience already knows who you are, but just for the listeners, how did you even get into stand-up?
I started back in like 2003.
Okay.
So, I was a funny kid a little bit, and I really wanted to try it out because I was funny with my friends. I was funny in high school.
What was your introduction to like actual stand-up comedy?
My mom used to let me watch Sinbad.
Okay.
But even before that, my dad used to act like he wouldn't let me watch Def Jam. So he used to like so if it came on, him and his wife would watch it, and he'll send me upstairs, but he would do some slick shit. He'd be like, all right, look, we're watching Def Jam. You can't watch this. It's on HBO. And he'll wink at me. And I'll go upstairs and just turn on HBO and just turn it down a little bit and laugh my ass off at Martin Lawrence and all the comics from back then. So I always really loved it since I was a little kid.
That's awesome.
So,
Did you know, I'm sure you know this about Sinbad, he used to just come off the top.
Yeah, Sinbad is gifted to be able to do hours and hours and hours. And if he did write material, fine. But he could do an hour on socks.
Yeah.
I've heard stories like Caroline's that Sinbad would do like 6 shows and do 6 different hours. So
yeah, I heard a story.
What the fuck? Yeah.
I heard a story. He was in the Midwest and it was snowing like crazy. And this couple showed up like at the end of the show. And he was like, okay, well, you two paid for tickets and just got here. So he announced to the entire theater, he goes, the show's technically over. I'm going to do a whole different hour if everybody wants to hang out for these two right here. Yeah. And just off the top of it, just went. That's insane to me.
And Sinbad is gifted.
Yeah.
I'm mad he's having all those strokes. But yeah, when he was kicking, he was great.
Yeah, so you got into it watching that, and then you said you started in 2003.
I started in 2003, yeah.
What was your first introduction into stand-up for yourself? Did you just find a mic? Did you, what'd you do?
I went to this place called the Laugh House in Philly.
Okay.
And I heard they had an open mic on Wednesday.
You're from Philly?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm from the Philadelphia, South Jersey area. Like, I did half my life in Philly and the other half in Jersey.
Okay.
Well, the other half. Jesus H. Christ. But just a little more time in Jersey.
Yes,
like I
you.
did 10, 50, like, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you.
But, yeah. I started at this little comedy club in Philly on South Street because that's where Kevin Hart blew up at. So
yeah,
it was going around that this was the hot spot if you wanted to do stand-up. So
how'd the first mic go?
I bombed.
Did you?
Yeah, bombed, but it didn't feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't feel like the end of the world. I was like, is that what that is? No.
It's not as hard as it looks.
I'm not even insecure. Like, I fucked up, but don't nobody know who I am.
Yeah.
I'll come back next week. Shit. I don't even need a shower to wash that off. Like, eat a sandwich and just get back at it. For those that got stage fright, what the fuck you afraid of? Like, you know, it was like, it came very natural to me.
Absolutely.
So I was like, well, I need to pick it up. I mean, you can have all the energy in the world, but you should probably write some jokes.
Yeah.
And, you know, push come to shove, 5 years later, I moved to New York.
Yeah. So what brought you to New York? Did you have stuff going on in
Because I
Philly?
heard it was the Mecca.
Yeah.
It was this place that Philly comics treated it like Narnia. Like, they was just like, you go up there and there's this place called the Cellar, and there's a back table where all these funny motherfuckers be. And that's how Kev did it. This nigga named Keith took Kev and he left us here and he went up to New York and they went to the Cellar and it just happened. And it was kind of like everybody was telling me the same thing.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, they were kind of right. It
Yeah,
just took
I was
me
going to say
mad time, but they were kind of right.
I mean, you are one of those guys now in the back of the Cellar.
The guys in the back of the table talking shit, bullying new comics. I'm having a good old time. I fucking love being mean to these new fucks because I remember I see them and I see me and them.
Yeah.
So I just go,
They're all wide-eyed, like, boy, oh boy.
Wide-eyed, hopeful, and very arrogant. Like, COVID gave these motherfuckers an arrogance
That's something
I've never seen before. Like, shout out to the Rooftop, the new comics that became comics in COVID. I don't know if that's a side effect to the disease, arrogance, but like these niggas came out of the woodwork with, give me a special. I'm like, nigga, none of y'all have 5 minutes. If y'all all put y'all minutes together, it's still only 4.5 minutes. So
this is my favorite conversation I've ever had on this show.
Like, where did all this come from?
It's insane to me, this generation of kids, because I know some of these kids, because I started in 2009, but I know some of these people who blew up during the TikTok, like, I'll do funny sketches and stuff, and then they blow up, and now they think they're comics, and I'm like, you don't do what I do.
And what's funny is you just go, Jesus Christ, these greedy comedy clubs, these motherfuckers got numbers, so you just gonna pack them in. So you get them sold, you get the liquor drank. But these motherfuckers go up and do a stretched out 15 seconds of fucking whatever they did.
It's insane.
And then they jump the crowd work because they ran out of fucking jokes. So you go, I'm looking at all. I see it all. And in the words of the great Jerry Seinfeld, the comedy ecosystem always balances itself out. And I go, well, goddamn, I just got to keep at it then.
Yep. That's actually a conversation I had with a buddy of mine, Matt Fulcheron. He's a very funny comic. He was in LA, then now he's in New York, and now he's going back to LA. But I remember some of my friends that were like touring. And I was like, they've been doing comedy like 2 years. I was like, they're doing a shitty so-and-so impression. Like, that's what they're... And Matt looked at me and he goes, listen, man, it's all going to... He's like, I've been doing this 20 years and it's all going to work itself out.
It'll work itself out.
And I, like you said, I just got to hang on.
You got to hang on.
Keep going.
Shit, I've been doing this 20 years. There's still nobody know who the fuck I am. So I
that is not true.
I'm a under the radar guy, and I kind of like being under this radar.
I love it because there are certain times where I'll go to clubs, or I'll bring friends to clubs, or I'll be like my girlfriend likes. I've gotten her into stand up, and she likes comedy. I sent her the bar mitzvah joke that you do because it's hilarious. And she's Jewish for the audience listening. That's why. That's why it was funny.
It does help.
But she came to a show at one of the clubs, I won't say where, and it was all these like young, like just recently passed. Yeah. And I'm like looking at her like almost I'm sorry. Like it's not like, and then you came up and I was like, never mind. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Thanks, man. Don't make me blush.
But like I texted her and I was like, Derek's coming on the podcast. And she goes, why does that name sound familiar? And I was like, I sent you that video. She goes, oh yeah, he was the guy that was at the show, you kept like hitting me. And I was like, yes, all right, we're all on the same page. But it's true to what you're saying is like a lot of these clubs, they're not art clubs. They're bars and restaurants that happen to have a stage.
Art club? Get the fuck out. In 2020, get the fuck out of here.
Nope.
Art is done.
It's dead.
You better have numbers, followers, likes. You better have this podcast or this TikTok, and you better pack out my room.
Yep.
You go up there and say whatever the fuck, and it's going to be whatever the fuck. But if you can pack it out, that's how a comedy club works. Yeah, so that the talent shit, we don't really give a fuck. I'm talking real, and I'm talking big cash shit. So I hope everybody hears me because I will back it up. I'm always back up my shit. That's why I talk, because I'm always backing it up.
I appreciate you saying that because are you big? Because I know you do a lot of social media now, but were you big on social media when it came out?
I just put little dumb pictures. Like when I saw it become a bit, here go me, because I'm not really savvy when it come down to computers.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not a savvy dude, so thank God that he sees fit that I be getting all these gigs because the numbers and the posting, I do it if it's fly.
Yeah.
But like when I see how people do it as the job and then the English on English and the fucking
every day at 5.
Yeah, every day at 5 you got to drop, and then every clip I see is just crowd work. And I just be like, oh, man, it just kind of bums me out.
Yeah.
So I just be like, well, let me smoke my weed and jot some shit down, and I just do it the long way.
Yeah.
I just go tell them what I was thinking about today, and usually it works, and it gets them good. And I go, all right. So I still got the comedy part.
I want to, because there's certain things, because talking about the social media and stuff like that, because I railed against it. When it came out, I was like, these jokes aren't ready. Like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't.
They put up anything now.
Dude, I've seen comics bring tripods to open mics.
It's crazy.
In New York, where it's just comics.
It's crazy.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
And
they're like, I got to get clips.
And if the joke, and it'd be just clips. It don't be good clips.
Yeah, just clips.
It just be clips. They say a sentence and then the pop-up come, watch for more. Like, watch for more? You didn't say anything. And then on top of that, it's always, I mean, shout out to everybody doing comedy, but there's so many, like 5, 6s, and 7 girls talking about how much hooking up they do on the joke. I'll be like, now I got to put your ugly face in my mind because I got to put you hooking up. So, but I got to believe the joke. So now I got to put you in a sexual situation. You're a goofy comedy face girl, you know. And I'm like, oh, that's and then it still don't pay off. I'm like, I am wasting life scrolling through these reels, and I'm like, I gotta do this, right? Because I'm supposed to be a part of in the networking of it all, and and I just be like, it's kind of fucked up that I started 20 years ago.
Yeah,
because I'm still an artist. I started when I was like, oh, this art form is fucking insane. You can go on stage with funny sentences, and then people pay you for it, or girls laugh at you. Get the fuck, and I get to wear cool sneakers. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm doing this. And it was all, well, let me get back to my books. If I did bad, I got back to the book. Or if we did good, me and the homies was just shitting on each other all night, drinking Shirley Temples and playing bar games and hollering at bitches. Like, it's just like, we didn't think social media. We was like, oh, this shit is just amazing.
Yeah.
Who can, and then it was to a point, this is when I first started, to a point, all the guys I hang with now, we were all at that open mic in Philly.
Okay.
Dave Temple, Monroe Martin, Reggie Conquest, the guys, all right?
Yeah.
And we used to try to, and shout out, rest in peace, Chris Cotton, we used to try to out-joke each other every week. All right, you was kind of funny this week, nigga. How funny can you be next week?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It's competition.
And I've been sticking with that my whole life. Like, can I out-funny this motherfucker next week? And they're all my friends. So after the end, we just talk shit on each other's jokes and just act like none of that just happened. And you just build that.
Yeah.
You just build that art form. And that's what I've done. And then when social media came in, I just kept doing the art part. And then I start seeing what they're doing on social media. And I'm like, I still stick to the art part.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's something.
I'm not like the numbers and you got to follow selling out ticket. This is all correct.
Yeah.
Do the podcast. Get all this. I will never say no to all the successful motherfuckers that did what they did and now they selling out arenas.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing. But I'm a slow learner. So so I kind of got to not give a fuck because it's just like, nigga, run your own race. Like, you can listen and you can take all these self-helps and all this Instagram cover your ass, whatever the fuck classes to try to, but at the same time, look what you've been doing.
Yeah.
So you on a track. I don't know if it's the right track, but you're on the track.
But that's true because like I started comedy in 2009 right after football, and then my alcoholism and my drug addiction got like so bad that I was going on stage
Semantics.
just being a fucking man. Dude, I used to go to mics and run the light for 12 minutes, a 5-minute mic, doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, hammered out of my mind.
Wow.
But I'm a big guy, so nobody was going to like come get me off the stage. So to what you're saying, though, it's like, yeah, I'm on a track, but that's not the right. So sometimes I look back on it and I go, oh, I wasted all that time.
Yeah.
But as a storytelling comic, I'm like, I didn't waste it because now I have all this stuff to mine from.
You have to just to fucking, this being this solo art form, just you and the microphone. Mm-hmm. As comics, I only speak for myself. We go through those doubt hurdles.
Yeah.
And you always compare yourself to another comic or another mother. Why is he got? Why she got? Oh, I should sound like, or maybe I don't write the way. It's an individual thing. Mm-hmm. So it's an individual run. You cannot do this shit like anybody else. You have to find your lane, and that's the tough part. So when you just doing and you start seeing everybody else be successful, and you think about yourself, that's the part that hurts the most. So just jumping over that. That's even fly for a comic to figure out.
Yeah.
So.
How long did it take you to figure out your voice?
Shit, I'm still figuring out my voice. But no, I want to say it took me a solid 15.
Yeah. Yeah, because about 10.
When I moved from Philly and got into New York and fell off my horse and got humbled year after year after year, that's where I figured out where the fuck I was coming from.
Okay.
Because it was those instances that made me personally stop giving a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is, you've been torn down. The city has eaten you the fuck alive.
Yes.
Now you're going to move back to South Jersey or you're
what are you going to do now?
You're going to salvage whatever the fuck you got left for your ego, and that's where you build from.
Yeah.
You write about what affects you. You write about these girls that you be meeting, but talk like you. Don't talk like them. Don't try to sound like them. You do it this way because this is how you feel.
Yeah.
This is what the city has ripped you down. Now it's time to build yourself back up. And that's it took 15, like a good 15, because I did 5 in Philly, and then them 10 in New York was just like,
every day.
God. And then when I hit my 30s, when I started really hitting my stride.
When did you? Is that when you started getting past it, like the cellar? Or the
it was all after 2015.
Okay.
Before that, it was because the stand fucked with me early. They the one that actually gave me a spot. Like that, when the old club was built, I was one of the first dudes booked at the old club. Oh, shit,
that's awesome.
So I've been there the whole 10 years. But they saw the potential. But it took a while for the cellar.
Yeah.
And it took a while just running around the city. Just show after show after show after show. Being on the road, off the road, in the city, staying in the city, maintaining, doing those late nights, all that shit. Yeah. It was just like...
those ones where you're getting up at 2:15 in the morning?
It's like 2:15, 2:30. Doing all these weird-ass rooms. Showcases, competitions, fucking auditioning, it's just all that shit that builds you, that just makes you go, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
But it beats you down until you built up.
Did you ever have an inkling in your head that you were going to do something other than comedy?
I quit for 20 minutes.
Did you really?
I quit. What year was that? 2010.
Okay, so 7 years in, you're in New York.
2010. Wait a minute, 2010. I had moved to New York in 2009, and I already got kicked out of my first 2 apartments because I couldn't make the rent because I was already.
I thought you were going to say something crazy.
Matter of fact, the first apartment I had, I left because my girlfriend at the time was jealous that my roommate was a chick that I knew. So I wound up moving out of there to another spot, which was terrible. And then I left that spot because when I was working a day job, I was always running late because I was out till 4 or 5 a.m. telling jokes with the gang.
Yeah.
So, you get suspended enough, you ain't making no money to pay the rent. So it was like, at one point, I had to move back home a few times.
Okay.
So that, I think that second, after I lost the second apartment, I had to move home. I was sitting in my garage, man. That shit, yeah. I was at my mom's house pissed. And I quit for like 20. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's not this and all that bullshit. Just that overly dramatic.
Oh, yeah. I've been there. I was there yesterday.
Moving furniture all over. Yeah, I'm never going to.
This is never going to work.
And then
what was I thinking?
And then shout out to Jay Electronica, man. Exhibit C is the rap song that kept me from quitting comedy.
Is it really?
That reinstated me back into stand-up.
Hell
that song, Exhibit C, by Jay Electronica, it put me back into the game. And then from then on, I remember the first joke I wrote after that little break, after that meltdown, wound up being a killer at the club. So he was just like, you ever be so angry, you ever be so broke, but you're so angry that you can't break shit? Like, I can't throw that. Like, you got to be angry on a budget.
Dude, that's a great bit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you want to throw your phone?
As an angry person, I totally am like, I can't
I can't throw my phone up against the wall. I need that goddamn phone. I'm waiting for a call for a job, bitch-ass nigga. Go outside and punch the air for a little while because it's cheaper. You can cry for free, bitch-ass nigga. Like, all that started coming from the meltdown. So when I saw that, I'm like, I'm making jokes off the, I'm staying in this shit. And then from then on, that was the therapy.
Yeah, because everybody always tells me you need a plan B. And I always say, if I have a plan B, I never had a plan A.
Eddie Murphy said that shit.
Oh, okay.
He said it on Arsenio. I don't have a plan B because usually when you have a plan B, you slack off on plan A.
That's probably where I got it from.
Goddamn, Murph. So yeah, just have a plan A.
Yeah, and it's interesting though because I come from the suburbs where everyone's like,
me too.
Yeah, my sister does marketing. My twin sister works at a school. My older brother has his doctorate, and everyone's like, yeah, this is fun. And then when I moved to New York like 2.5 years ago, everyone's like, wait, you're really doing this? Mm-hmm. Like you're really gonna do it? And I was like, yeah, this is what
people don't believe that shit.
Well, it's because I say all the time, I was like, God had plenty of opportunities to kill me. If I'm still here, then I'm obviously moving towards something.
You're on a track.
Yeah, and exactly like we were talking about, and everyone's just so blown away by it. Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I got a sister, and she's a consultant.
Did you go through the same thing?
Well,
because you are from the suburbs. That's one of my favorite bits.
My mother supported me immediately.
Yeah,
which was weird. But it was great. My dad was like, what the fuck? Because my dad is an airman. He's in the Air Force. He's a decorated pilot. So he was looking at me like, what? Jokes? You know what I've done?
It's all about the Def Jam.
And it was like, I was like, damn, you know what I've done? And I'm like, yeah, this is kind of your fault, Dad, because you let me watch Def Jam when I was 6, and I kind of wanted to do that instead of fly planes and fix jets. I'm sorry, nigga. Can't everybody be a genius like you? And my mom is a sound engineer, so she know how to fucking work. My mom and papa and I was just like,
numbers and dials, and
I kind of want to fuck around on this mic. What? And so my mom was cool. The only thing my mom said was like, why the fuck you go to college first? Now we still got to pay off those, student loans and all that shit.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to school at it's gonna be funny. I went to jazz college.
Did you really?
Yeah. I was a musician.
I had no idea.
At University of the Arts in Philly. Like I got in. Like I got a scholarship and everything.
What do you play?
Drummer. I was a drummer, and I was I kind of was studying Afro-Cuban rhythms. I was really into Afro, like bembes and claves and all that. Boom, 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 boom,
damn,
all that bullshit. So I was studying Mongo, Santa Maria, and Giovanni Hidalgo jazz, like Latin jazz.
Yeah,
Latin jazz was my shit. I had back in high school, I had a Spanish music teacher that was helping me get prepped for college. His name was Marlon Simon, and nigga, he spoke to me in sounds and snaps and all that shit.
Shout out Marlon Simon.
Yeah, Marlon Simon was my motherfucking dude, man. And then, and I was school. Like, I was performing in high school. So I was already on stage.
Yeah, you were already.
That's why I was like, when I got on stage to talk that first time, I said, okay. That's what a bomb feel like? Nigga, please. I had to perform jazz in front of high school kids, a bunch of South Jersey assholes. So it was like, I get
who have no taste for jazz.
Yeah. Kids trying to fuck the girls because it was graduation week and I was a senior and I had to play the senior concert. Oh yeah. I was like, oh yeah, bombing, that's nothing. Yeah, I've had to play jazz in a fucking South Jersey high school. Yeah, so yeah, man. And then I went to school for that. Shout out to Derek Hodge, famous bass player and composer too. He's a composer now. He composes movies. Pretty crazy. Derek Hodge got me into school. He got me that rec to go to jazz college. But the first year I went to jazz college, I failed piano, and because I couldn't read music.
Yeah,
right? I can only play it. And I got in all these bands and all this fly shit and all that. And I swear to God, it was a concert. I was playing in a senior recital. I was a freshman, but I was really good. So all the seniors was hiring me to do the little Afro-Cuban parts in their little jazz concertos or whatever the fuck. So I was playing a concert for this other kid, saxophone player, and he gave me a solo. And at the time, my girlfriend and my mom was in the concert, and I got the spotlight to play the solo. Killed the solo. Yeah. I killed it. All the sounds. It was very musical. I was making sure all the beats was I'm singing to myself. All the shit you do. So when I was done, I got this crazy applause. And then it went back to the saxophone player. And I was just behind a nigga playing the drums again. I was like, I'm behind some dude's ass playing drum. Like, I don't want to do this shit.
Oh, so that's when you
So that was the epiphany.
Like,
I was like, man, I want to be in front. Yeah. Fuck that. I don't even want to play. I'd rather tell I'm doing this as I'm playing the concert. Because I was like, after the light went off, I had an attitude.
You're just kind of like, yeah.
And I was like, yeah. Like, all the music dropped, and it was like, you should do comedy. Hey, maybe I should do comedy. So that whole summer, I planned my dropout. I told my mom, told my pop, I was like, I know you're going to be mad. I'll pay it back later, but I think I want to get into these jokes. Got some day jobs, and then just got at it.
That's awesome, dude.
The day after I turned 19, I hopped on that mic.
Damn.
Yeah, and then I was just like, it was a corny way up. I was corny for a long time, man.
Were you?
A lot of energy, no jokes, and I'm still. A lot of people probably say that now, but I think I've written.
There's no
some
way
better
I
shit.
couldn't imagine that.
Yeah, just a lot of act outs, but not no real shit. So it was like
because what you talk about on stage now is and this is something I say all the time as someone who loves Lenny Bruce. You challenge the status quo on a nightly basis.
Oh yeah,
and I'm not trying to like blow you up or like blow smoke or whatever, but like you do. Like there are certain times where I've seen you. And it's been like a mostly white audience. Oh, yeah. And you have to like talk to them like this is a real thing I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's also hilarious, but it's also a real thing.
Yeah, just to watch because I like watching Park Avenue cringe.
Yeah.
Park Avenue.
You get that a lot at the stand.
Those white people off Park Ave, you just be like, these cringe-worthy fucks. And it's like, yeah.
It always gets me because it's a black man on stage saying it, and they're still just like, can he say that?
Yeah. Oh, it's so nervous. And it's like, and that I kind of thrive on now. So I go, yeah, they're just write about everything. Write about these celebrities. Write about how you feel. Write about New York. Write about just write, nigga. I just be trying to force myself. Just write something down every day.
Yeah.
And then we'll get there. But write something.
Yeah.
Word it out. Make it sound like you give a fuck. And that's basically why I think I'm where I'm at now.
Yeah, because
I enjoy the writers of the city, the Dan Soders, the Mark Normans of this world, the Dave Attell's of this world, the fucking Big J's of this world. I know that's all white comics, but like just watching them to see why the white boys used to worship these guys. Yeah, just to see, and then I'd watch and I go, it's because they good with that pen. They saying a lot of shit really fast, and it's like, oh, that was a joke. Oh, that was a joke. I kind of want to be like that.
Tag.
I like all these tags. And as a black dude, big energy, I was like, what if I can use the energy, but have that writing style?
And then do the
Put
tags.
it together and
You
be
do
like
that really
this
well.
whole, speed this whole, because I love joke writing. Like my white noise is Family Guy. Like I fall asleep with Family Guy every night. It's going, oh, I didn't catch that last time, but I got it this time. So yeah.
You do, because like a great example of that is the barista bit that you have. Yeah. It's just like bang, 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 bang.
You want to.
But then you also have you have act outs in it. And
you got to try to.
Sarah, the phone.
Yeah, just the whole, you be like, there's a whole thing.
Yeah, you cover everything.
And that's why I like comedy. Yeah. Because I go, fuck, you can really make this a whole splash or whatever the fuck.
You can make a whole world.
A whole God just by talking, but just making sure everything. You'd be like, all right. And it's to this day still why I still do it. Yeah. Because you can make that world. You can really make that world. And then, the Greer Barnes of this world. Yeah. Greer Barnes was one of the guys.
Hilarious.
My jaw would fall off my face after watching. Fucking, I mean, we can name all the greats, but let's just talk about the niggas in the city. Monroe Martin, one of my best friends. I think he's the funniest dude out here. So funny. Dave Temple. Like, just watching these guys' process on how they get these sentences out. Yeah. You'd be like, damn, that's a funny fucking sentence.
Reggie Conquest, same
Reggie,
way. Yeah.
fucking just
Every time I see him, I'm
just
like, God damn it, man.
Just the process of how, I like how they wrote that. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm in it for.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you because we mentioned it earlier, because you don't drink.
I don't drink.
You're just, you like to smoke. You're
I like to smoke weed. I like to be aware.
Yeah.
And then people get really silly sometimes.
Have you never drank?
Well, shots and all that.
Yeah.
But not a lot of shots.
Okay.
I go, what
I just don't, because I've guests on sometimes and they go, oh, I don't drink because they had like one time in college
No. You ready for this?
Yeah.
My mom kind of jukes me out of drinking.
Oh, really?
Drinking was crazy in high school when I was there. Back in 99, 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
Teenage drinking was at an all-time high. That's all we did because there wasn't no social media yet. Niggas just getting blackout. You be in 11th grade, be blackout. Niggas come to school with hangovers back in Jersey.
Dude, I went to school with people who would be drinking during class.
Yeah. Big drinkers back in South Jersey high school. So
Florida
a lot of parties.
Too, baby. Florida too.
A lot of parties. A lot of fucking, A lot of scholarships getting fucking dwindling away because of drinking.
Yeah.
A lot of teenage girls getting pregnant. So my mom was like, "You can go fuck around, or get good grades. I'll give you anything you want." So it was just like I just every time I see people drink and fuck up, I'm like, well, I probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So I'd do well and not drink and get home on time and all that and be up and alert and get all A's and B's and all that shit. My mom would give me sneaks and PS2s and fucking steak dinners with the fucking lobster and the fucking new jacket.
So you had incentives to not,
book bag this. Oh, mom, get me the Skelly or the fucking Jordans. I'd be like, so I was like spoiled.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll do this instead of, and then just to see how people be. Like some people get the Rams and we got to fight. Some people, people get sloppy. I remember we used to go to house parties a lot.
Yeah, so you're still going to these parties even though you don't
Back
drink.
when I was in school, because I'm hanging with my friends.
Yeah,
I'm the designated driver. So they drink, they get crazy, but I kind of, this is going to sound weird, but I felt like a hero. I used to get all these motherfuckers home.
Yeah.
Every time.
This doesn't sound weird. I have friends that have died that way.
Yeah,
you are
so
a hero.
I'm like, I got all these motherfuckers home. We keep girls from getting graped, right?
Yeah.
Because they be walking around stumbling outside Camden. I'm like, bitch, you in Camden. Get in the car. We'll take you to your fucking front door. Like, you can't be just out here with these crazy Jersey niggas. What are you doing? Like, it just, so me and my homies, we was on some other shit. We drive around that Ford Contour saving motherfuckers. But nah, man, it's just like, I didn't drink. And it just, after a while, I just didn't want to drink. And then when I would get a shot of something, it's the grossest shit to me. Like, I go, this tastes terrible.
People ruin their lives over it. I ruined my life over it.
This shit tastes fucking awful. How can you do this? So I was like, nah. But when I started smoking,
when did you start smoking?
Made more sense to me. When I was 29.
Oh, shit.
Shout out to my homie Pete Davidson for always passing me the joint because we used to be roommates a long time ago. And every night he would I go, nah, I'm good. And he just kept passing it. And then one night I was like, man, give me that weed. And then it changed my life forever.
So I want to talk about that. So when that happens, are you just like, oh, this is my thing now?
Yeah, because it was kind of, you know what it was? Because I felt like I unlocked that door.
Yeah.
Because I was playing jazz and I was in church writing jokes and all this shit sober. So when I started hearing music the way jazz musicians, the ones that smoke me, I'm like, I get it. Oh shit! I hear it all now. I feel it all. Those the words that I've been wanting to say. This the shit that I've been wanting to. Weed. And I was like, duh. What? Like it was like, fuck. I unlocked the door.
Yeah.
And then when I started floating through space and then start finding shit to talk about, that's when it all changed. And I was like, damn, I'm really a pothead now.
Shit.
And then, when it was accepted by my mother, you couldn't tell me anything. Like my mom was like,
your mom was cool with it?
Yeah, my mom was cool with it. So I was like, oh shit. Because she used to smoke weed back in the day.
Okay.
So.
What about your dad? Was your dad cool?
Oh, no. That's probably one of the reasons they got divorced because,
I kind of set you up on that one. I had a feeling I knew
he was an airman.
Going.
Motherfucker was fixing jets when he was 17. He had no time to smoke no weed. That nigga, it was different. He's more tactical. My mom was an artist brain. My dad was a more tactical brain.
Yeah. More analytical.
Analytical, yeah. Left side or right side or whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, whatever they say.
I'm glad both their sides were genius.
Yeah.
So
that's what you said.
Okay.
You said your sister's really smart too.
My sister, she's a consultant. So she teaches teachers how to teach.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a mouthful.
She teaches high school, like she's the girl you go to. The teachers got to go to those conferences.
And
learn how to talk to
my
teenagers.
girl is a teacher. Yeah, so she has to go to those. Damn.
My sister Kendra teaches teachers how to teach teenagers. If you say that 3-4 times fast. A lot of T's. Shout out to alliteration. I love me some alliteration and assonance. That's why I went so far in jokes.
God damn, man.
Yeah. Alliterate. I've always liked words. Like I was like, so even in school, I was like, oh, this shit is fine. If you fuck with words a little bit, make people laugh.
Do you ever find it when you're on stage and you come up with a tag, but it's kind of bare, like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of hidden in the, like you have to be listening.
Oh yeah.
Do you find it where like, because I do that a lot. And as a comic, like if I get no response from the audience, I almost feel like I failed. But like, does that ever happen where you're like looking at the audience like, how do you not fucking get this?
That shit happens. But fucking if Marvel can do Easter eggs, so can
true.
I.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get it when you get home.
There's
you'll get it when you shit. Like,
yeah.
I'm doing one now that a lot of people don't get. Harriet Tubman bit, it's a tag.
Dude, it's so funny.
And I say something there about trains and all of the Underground Railroads, and people get it sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting rid of that joke.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a
not.
great joke.
So yeah, so I get it, but that's the beauty of the game.
Yeah.
You can write in code. If video games have all these special levels and
Yeah.
and fucking you watch a movie and wait for the end of the credits to get, but why can't I do that in stand-up?
It's one of my favorite feelings when somebody gets it.
Yeah.
When you bury like an Easter egg in the bit
and then one person go, "Ah!" You'd be like, it was for you.
my man, there we go. I wanted to ask you, so since you started, because you started smoking late, what's like the craziest experience that you've had because of smoking, like because of weed? Has anything crazy ever happened?
Well, starting off, I have crazy bug outs.
Yeah.
Like the first meltdowns you get when you high.
Yeah. Because that actually was what stopped me from smoking. When I got to college, my roommate was the smoker, and I was like, I'm not touching it.
I got over those paranoia meltdowns.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, that's just the weed. Something in me clicked, was like, well, you know you only acting like that because you high.
Yeah.
So you know the world's not coming to an end. You know your soul ain't going to hell. Like, you know, all that horse shit that you what was another one? What was another good melt? That just, am I going to die?
I used to think I was going to die all the time. Why is my heart beating out of my chest?
Something. Whatever. All the shit you had, that's all the weed.
Yeah.
So just some wild shit I'm about to say. So my artist brain must have been like, well, you gonna let this shit stop you from whatever the stratosphere has to offer, huh? You don't want to go float because you in your brain and you know it ain't real. It's just the weed. And you go, you a bitch if you fall under the weed. Ain't you stronger than the weed? And I'm like, yeah.
You just talked yourself into it.
And then, even to hype myself up, you better harness that power. You better find what the fuck it's trying to give you, Derek. Stop cowering into some bullshit. It's a goddamn plant. Like shit like that.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, you're right. It's just a plant. So that would kind of made me go, you helping me. I'm not helping you.
Yeah.
You my little tool that I use to go grab the mic and say I am. So yeah, it took a minute, but I got over it. My friends used to tell me, you don't smoke before I get on stage. I used to be bad at it.
Yeah.
But you bad at anything when you first start.
Absolutely.
But I smoke now like shit. On some rock star status shit, because being on tour with Pete Davidson, I'm not dropping names, but that's who I'm on tour with. That motherfucker smoke all the time.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of
put up or shut up. Let's go.
I remember one time, one of them specials we did, he was doing, we all was eating shrooms before the show. And I was at, I think, Gramercy Theater, and I was
That's where it was.
Fuck. And I still got through the set. I was like, use it, just use it.
How is that performing on stage?
It is tough. I do not like performing on shrooms. I remember when I performed on shrooms.
Have you done it all? Well, not often, but have you done it a few times?
I've done it enough that I can tell these stories.
I was going to say, yeah.
I remember one time, shout out to Monroe, he gave me some shit that Ari Shaffir gave him.
Oh, God.
And I wasn't ready because he said, yeah, man, I don't think I could do any of the Ari drugs. So I took it. So I took it off his hands. I was like, give me those shrooms.
That should be its own label, RE drugs.
So it had it said wrecked on it. I'll never forget.
With an R.
It
did have the
WREXED.
Okay.
Wrecked, whatever the fuck. But I looked at it. It was all shrooms. So I was like, if I eat them, I'm gonna have a stomachache. I know. I make all this bag into a tea, and it probably won't even feel as bad. So I made the whole sack of mushrooms into a tea. Drank all the tea. Thought I was gonna be cool. So after throwing up twice, after puking my guts twice, that's when the high set in.
Yeah.
That's the weird part. How the fuck I throw it up, but I'm higher than I've ever been in my life. So the walls is melting. It's going down.
Where is this?
In my apartment. In my little ass room. And I'm just like, I think I fucked up. So now, thank God, Dean David, young Dean.
Yeah.
He has this room out in Bushwick called Gold Coast, Golden, whatever the fuck. It's down the street from the house. Golden Record, whatever. And it's November 1st. It's like 2 years ago. And it's November 1st. I'm shrinked out of my head. The graffiti on the walls as I'm walking down the street, headed to this show because I just had to get out the house.
Yeah.
All the graffiti on the walls is moving. I feel like eyes just found me. I'm fucked. So I get to the venue, like I'm shrinked out of my fucking skull.
Yeah.
But I made it to the spot. But now here come the bullshit because November 1st, that's the day after Halloween.
Yeah.
So they still got Halloween decorations in there.
Oh, shit.
Hellraiser this, devil, demons that. So automatically I'm like, I'm walking to the 7th level of hell right now. Like, why did I come here Now I feel weird, right? So I go back to the showroom. There's nobody in there yet. So I said, all right, this would be the chance for me to go smoke a joint to kind of balance out. Because I'm too fucking high. So I was like, let me smoke this weed. The weed will probably bring me it'll balance me out.
Yeah,
So I go outside, shrimped out of my head, start smoking weed. Now this happened. This is no exaggeration for all your listeners. I am not bidding you. This is not something I wrote. This actually happened. 3, count them. 3 special needs paraplegic people pull up to the comedy show. One of them has the polio crutches. That's the one with the cup on it.
Yep.
And rollerblades on. That's one.
I'm gonna pass out.
So I'm just like, what the fuck? The second one, she got the motor car. So she got the finger and the neck. That's all she got. And then the last one, straight mute. She can't talk. So they pull up to the show. And I'm high, just looking at it, going, the fuck is this all about? So as I'm smoking, the bartender comes out and picks the girl in the chair up out the chair and carries her into the show. So I'm like, this is wild. And then the mute girl just follows with now. Now the guy with the polio stilts and the rollerblades is outside with me. So I'm already like, this is pretty crazy. And he has this woman's chair just sitting there. So he walks up to me. First of all, he's a little guy. So he's looking up at me. I'm smoking, shrimped out. He goes, hey, man, can you hold my stilts while I park my friends? So now, because you know how outside the venue, they got that other venue. The Ratatouille venue. For post-COVID, everybody eats outside. So there's a little outdoor thing. And in the thing, there's a space for him to roll down the ramp and fix it. So I watch a man with rollerblades, but he rolls up onto the joint, parallel parks his friend's little motor car in the joint. So I see all of this shit. I'm like, this can't be real. This cannot be fucking real. Why the night did them 3 pull up when I'm shrimped out of my head? I don't even know what's real or not. So, so I get to I do the show. I walk in and I let everybody in the room know, hey guys, I'm on shrooms. I don't know how this is going to work out. All I know is that the 3 people in the back, the 3 paraplegic people, are my best of friends. Whole crowd goes crazy, right?
Yeah.
So before I do the Bushwick bit, I ask, can I do the bit?
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, go ahead, fuck it. And when I tell you, it was the best time I ever did it. It was because they was back there.
Yeah.
And everybody was just like, oh, shit.
But then they're laughing.
And when I did the stir and the little arm, they were, motherfuckers, so to be able to have knocked it out and be on shrooms and the crowd knew and I was still kind of cooking.
Yeah.
That was when I was like, oh, okay.
You're invincible.
Art form.
Yeah.
Because I chose the art form. Fuck the clip or crowd work.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get into my own head and push out something great. So yeah. So
damn, man.
Shrooms taught me that, but I really don't like doing stand-up on shrooms. It's
that's gotta be very panicky.
It's intense. I did it one time on acid. I did the cellar one time on acid. And that
when was this?
The Halloween after the shrooms.
Okay.
That's so funny.
Damn. Always
just
on
to
Halloween.
see. I was like, let me see.
Did you? So you planned it out?
But here go the thing. On Halloween, you get to wear a costume.
Yeah.
So I was on stage with shades on.
Okay.
So the darkness kind of kept me, but I was kind of like I felt I was like I'm getting through this little 13-minute set.
Did you tell them? On that one?
I didn't tell them I was on acid. But I was like, God damn, this does feel weird. On stage, I was like, yeah, you probably should never do this. Like I heard that internal whisper, like, yeah, you up here. You saying what you
are
saying.
up here.
But this set ain't really going that well, nigga. You fucked up. You not Miles Davis. This ain't what you think this is. No, he was strung out on heroin. That's different. You can play the trumpet really good on heroin.
It's different.
But you can't do stand-up on acid, nigga. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it was all that. That little internal voice was crazy that night. So, yeah. So, if you're going to do any drug before you get on stage, make sure it's nothing. But if you do it, smoke weed.
Yeah, weed's so much, it's so much cooler.
Man, it's a headache. But I know my limits now.
Yeah. So have you, since the acid of last year, have you done anything? No.
I can't.
Yeah. That was kind of the tipping point.
Like, I know what the mental shit is. I know what a trip. I know what trips are. Nah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first time I did shrooms was in L.A.
When was that?
And when I was trying to be somebody out there, auditioning, trying to get on shows.
So wait, I didn't even know you spent time in L.A.
Oh, yeah. I did 4 years out there.
Oh, shit.
I did a little bi-coastal thing. I was going back and forth, but I was staying out there 3 or 4 or 5 months at a time.
Yeah.
Auditioning, trying to play the little all the comedy scenes out there, the factory and all that.
Yeah.
I mean,
the last OG was that out there? Or was
Last
that up
OG
here?
was in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, the Last OG got canceled. That shit hurt me, man. I wish Tracy played that a little different, but he didn't.
Yeah.
And
but that happened in New York.
that happened in New York.
Okay.
That was fun. I thought that was my ticket. Like I thought a lot of shows was my ticket.
Yeah.
Nah, it's different for me. The Path is funny. So, because Broke Ass Game Show, that was my first like big credit.
Was it?
My first, that was my big MTV show. That was my
When
first
did you
thing.
get that? How far?
Got that
in?
2015. I got
Okay.
that 2015.
Damn, so you were in it a minute. You were in it 12 years before you got that.
I got that 2015 and then fucking...
Were you like, that's it? This is going to change?
Yeah, I knew it was like, because we got a second season.
Yeah.
And after we got that second season, I was like, set it up. I'm about to move to Manhattan, bro.
Bye-bye, Brooklyn.
And I'm in LA auditioning with a show.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I feel like a fucking god. I got a show in New York, but I'm out in LA auditioning, right? So I was at one audition, I bombed so bad. And then when Viacom changed their presidents, they snatched all the shows.
Yeah.
So Broke Ass Game Show was kapoof. It was done. And I was like, I was going to get to redo my contract and all that shit. I was about to make some real money.
Yeah.
And then it died.
It just was gone.
That was my first big fall off after having something.
Yeah.
And then it's just been a climb back up to the top. And it was a climb back up to the top. It was great. It was stressful, but
Yeah.
we did it.
We did it. We're here.
Yeah.
I almost forgot. Plug everything one more time. Or well, we never plugged it up front. Plug everything that we hate so much, your social media, all that.
Oh, hey guys. On Instagram, The Great Boy, TheGreatBoy. That's it. It's just one word. I got Instagram when it first started.
Yeah.
To let you know how long I've been doing this shit. That's why I got that name. And make sure you listen to the No Need for Apologies podcast on Gas Digital and all where podcasts are. We have a new episode every Wednesday and Sunday. And what else? And December 20th, Black Ass Comedy Show at City Winery. Me and Dave Temple host. I have a beautiful cast of raucous black comedians that's going to rock the City Winery that night. We have our own wine.
Do you
no
really?
need for apologies. Wine. We have a custom wine. So
Get the fuck out of here. How'd that happen?
The winery hooks us up because we did a show there before. And
Okay.
it was successful. So now we got our No Need for Apologies bottle of wine. You
Dude,
get one of
that's
those.
sick.
And it's going to be a nice December 20th, 7:30. It's going to be one of the wildest shows in New York right before Christmas. So yeah, just make
Hell
sure
yeah.
check that out.
I wanted to ask you, just because you mentioned the LA thing.
Yeah.
When you were doing Bi-Coastal, when did you decide like you were just coming back to be in New York?
Good question.
Thank you.
After pandemic, because the last time I was out there, right, it was right before everything shut down. That
Okay.
March 2020 or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. And when I got back and saw how much the city changed, and then to have all these studios in Brooklyn, when I saw all these TV and movie studios popping up in
Yeah.
Brooklyn, I said, the fuck is the point of LA?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
There's no reason.
Like, I can go out there and network and try to get to Eddie Murphy's house or whatever the fuck. But I'm like,
He's got one in Jersey.
and I'm
Look at
like,
that one.
but nah, you live in Alpine. And I was like, and it's just like, I'm like, I don't really like the store. I don't like the Laugh Factory like that. The only one I like is the Hollywood Improv. I love that fucking club. The Hollywood Improv is my favorite spot out there, but whatever. I'm a regular at the Cellar, you know.
In my opinion, that's the best credit in comedy.
Yeah, I'm cool.
To be a regular at the Cellar.
Yeah, I'm a
is
regular
like,
at the Cellar. So I was like, you know, my friends, I have a lot of cool friends that put me in shit, thank God. And I kind of was just like, I don't know. I mean, thank you, ladies. All the ladies. That's the one thing you did have.
They do have that.
A lot of women out there, man.
A lot of beautiful women out
A
there.
lot of fucking Tinder and Bumble out in LA was different than New York, man. It was. But that wasn't getting
There's
shit
no
done.
reason to stay, yeah.
It wasn't getting shit done. I was losing shows, losing money, sleeping on couches, hanging out with my friends. I got like hippie friends. I got like nerd hippies. Like, you know, the motherfuckers that just be about Malibu and be about games and you know, free love.
Walk around barefoot. Yeah.
Barefoot. A bunch of naked bitches always walking around.
Yeah,
Be free. And just, I was living in those kind of areas for like North Hollywood.
Yeah, there you go.
know
That's all you
North
had to say.
Hollywood.
NoHo, baby.
So just North Hollywood, everybody naked, just sitting there. This shit is crazy. If you meet 5 women, 3 of them do porn. Like, you just go, I can't. This just the stage time was limited.
Yeah.
All my homies in New York, they don't. I try to speak to LA comics. They don't speak like we speak.
Yeah.
They don't joke like we joke. It's always about what gigs coming up or who books this, who books that. It just started driving me fucking insane. Got in too many car accidents. I thought I was going to lose my life one time.
Holy shit.
So yeah, it just fights. I done gotten fights with comedians out there.
Like actual physical
altercation.
How does that even happen?
It's just like motherfuckers got ego.
Yeah.
And
I guess that's
you got it.
Answer.
We got to speak sternly to each other's faces. I don't like you niggas out here. I really don't.
But see, that's the thing is like I've been arrested 8 times. I spent time in jail. I've been in lots of fights.
Yeah.
At no point in comedy have I ever thought like, oh, like I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but in L.A.
Yeah, I guess.
Shit. And it's the Wild Wild West out there.
Yeah.
You can feel the emptiness in that place. You feel it. And you go, damn, I'm really trying to chase this career, man. So I'm going to just go ahead and go to all these Ontarios and whatever, just to be on the West. And it's just space. It just wasn't home.
Yeah. Well, and also you love the art form aspect.
Yeah,
of it,
and
which
just
is
out there, like you walk down the street and see 10 motherfuckers doing TikTok videos. Like, you had to walk through it because outdoors is a studio.
Yeah.
Everywhere is a studio in L.A. So, yeah. But so the only thing I can take away from that is girls, because there was some challenging women. Some of them bad bitches, they treated me like suckers out in L.A. But there you go. But that was fun.
Yeah, you learn.
But yeah, just learning the girls out there. But other than that, man, I was just like, yeah, nah, I think New York is where I can hustle. And then lo and behold, yada, 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 Blue Bloods. So, yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. And then now I'm doing my 4th episode into this month.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, 4th. They already gave me a story arc. So now if I'm on 4,
you're
the 4th
in.
episode, I'm okay. So they already gave me a 3-episode story arc. So it sounds like I'm starting another arc. So I'm like, all right, fine.
Lock and load.
And I sit there like, damn. Like all the times I went to CBS a lot in fucking LA.
Never.
No jobs.
Never.
Like I pull up there. Hey, Derek, what's going on? Like everybody know your name hilariously in New York. And I shot a show with James Burrows in LA that didn't go anywhere. So many pilots I shot. I shot so many fucking pilots in LA that never went. Got the checks, thank God. That's how I kept skipping stuff. I kept skipping like.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, nothing went. And just after a while, you should be like, this shit. And then
and you're not even doing stand-up like you would up here.
And the wretched feeling when you and 5 other motherfuckers get that call back and now y'all all sitting at Warner Brothers looking at each other. And now y'all individually got to go in there with all the wigs, all the NBC and all the CBS, and you got to put your fucking dreams on the carpet. Act real quick. Come on, monkey. Give me that act. And then you do it. And then we all 5 monkeys sitting in the hallway. And then you the only monkey don't get called. Then you got to sit there because you didn't get the shot to shoot something else that could have moved you up 25 grand. Like, nigga, yeah, man. It's just, and then it's just a lot of those.
Yeah.
It's fucking, all right, I'm going to go break this pool stick again. And go in there with my broken pool stick back to fucking Warner Brothers, back to CBS. And it's fine because I get the pressure. Stand up. Prepare me for all this shit. But it started showing up in New York.
Yeah.
I'd hit these rooms. Can you come back? Yeah, I come back. We was thinking, here's an offer. Can you do this episode? And then, building relationships with Donnie Wahlberg and that, because I wasn't supposed to go past 1 episode.
Yeah.
But thank God for stand-up. I kept improvising the lines, making Donnie Wahlberg laugh, and he was like, cut. Who is this?
Hell yeah.
I've never seen a guest come in there and have the staff laughing. I'm Derek Gaines, man. Just do comedy around the city.
This is what I do.
Do stand up, so there's room for jokes in the script without fucking up the script. So the CBS writers was like, it's good. So they just kept bringing me back. So,
damn, man.
So I was like, all right. So it seems like it just works in New York.
Fuck yeah.
I got the voice here. So I was like, I'm staying here. So I'm an East Coast guy.
Damn.
I don't really have to go back to LA. If there's a bag, fine, I'll fly out there. But I'd be like, because I dread LAX.
Yeah.
I dread to pick up. And then everybody like, where you at? Come hang out. And then it's just all this.
What'd you get? Who gave it to you? Yeah.
I'm good.
Well, I'm glad you're back in New York, man. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Oh,
dude.
absolutely. Absolutely, man. It was a good talk. I was shocked. I was really home, half sleep. And I was like, okay, I'll come
Let's
out.
do it.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking, it's the best, man. I'm so happy you came on. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. At Brennan T Comedy on all social media, BrennanTComedy.com. We'll talk to you all next week.
Yeah.
Oh.